Okay, so thanks Heidi very much for introducing Mike. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So Heidi talked a little bit about Hadoop. She talked a little bit about in-memory. These are technologies that are being more and more frequently associated with big data. And so I guess in-memory is something that you're doing on your site. That's for performance reasons. Hadoop, is that something that's on your site, or does the solution work exclusively with Hadoop data sources? That's the one part that I didn't get.
So Hadoop is part of our stack, and we actually work with the raw data. So we bring in terabytes, over close to a petabyte in the last year of data, and Hadoop is part of our solution. Obviously it's open source, and we run the Hadoop processing as the first step in our data processing.
Okay, so Hadoop and in-memory are features of your business, not necessarily things that people need on their end of the pipe in order to make this happen.
Exactly.
Going back to the question that we asked of David Beyer, what about where the data is kept? Is it kept with you, or is it kept with the customer?
So our customers actually ship us their data into a secure bucket, which we manage. And absolutely, cloud security is a really big piece of our offering, and we've been lucky to conform with European Union regulations. We work with publicly listed companies. Security is critical, but it's possible to do on the cloud.
Okay, we heard what the unique selling proposition, if you will, was for Chartio. What, in your mind, is the elevator pitch, the thing that really makes Metamarkets different and the reason that people should consider your solutions?
I think the biggest differentiator for Metamarkets is our speed. Most people who use Hadoop struggle at a certain point to get answers in real time or in human time. And Metamarkets has developed an in-memory database which, along with our dashboard that is layered on top, allows a business user who doesn't have a PhD to slice, dice, visualize, and analyze their data quickly at scale. So speed is really our selling point.
What is in-memory? What does that mean, just so everybody knows?
In-memory computing means that the data is kept rather than on disk, it's kept actually in DRAM. So Microsoft Excel is fast because all of the data is kept in memory. We do what Excel does, but we do it on the cloud.
And Hadoop deployments and some of the in-memory computing in commodity type servers is relatively inexpensive to do, so why would somebody want to do it in the cloud?
I think the key point here is that in this era of big data, your data is already on the cloud, and your analytics should be there, co-located with your data. The reason why the cloud's a great place is because you have access to scale. The data that we're talking about is too big to sit on any one machine. And so at Metamarkets, we distribute it across hundreds of servers. So when a query hits, I'll show you our product, we actually distribute that query across hundreds of servers, similar to what Google does for when you do a search.
Why don't you load this up? I'm sorry I lost your browser window there, so we'll have to start it up again. But of course, you're going up against some big players too: Oracle, SAP, IBM, Microsoft. I mean, those are not small competitors. As a startup, how do you, how do you do that?
So I like to call Oracle and some of the other legacy BI tool providers big box retailers, because they're offering boxes, we're offering services. And we think for startups who want to get going quickly, who've got Hadoop running and are looking for analytics, we offer a very enviable price point that they can get involved.
What is that enviable price point, as long as you're saying that?
So we like to price ourselves the cost of a single data scientist. So order of $10,000 a month, but it depends on data volumes.
Okay, why don't you show us how it works?
Sure. So we're looking here at the front page of our RTB exchange information. So if the example here is if I'm a head of monetization for an online publisher, it's really important for me to understand my revenues. And we log in here, we can see in the last week, we've done about $3.5 million of revenue. We can look at our eCPM. And one thing we might want to look at is drill down into a day view and say, okay, how do we do today? We can see we made about $500,000, that's great. let's take a look at our top advertisers. And what I can do here, and all of these queries are running in real time against our backend. We can do a comparison of these top 3 publishers, and we see a spike here. Let's see if I can pull it over.
And so this is all customer data.
This is all customer data.
Are you also taking feeds from social networks and things like that? Are you able to?
We do actually. We work with. We've actually done some work for the Wikimedia Foundation, looking at engagement of their users as well. So this model is not restricted to just publisher data. It's really any OLAP data fits into this model. So we can see here there's a spike. What I can do is I can share this report with one of my colleagues and say, it looks like we've got something going on with Shovel 3 Media. And the beauty of the cloud is that she can log in and see the same information. It's not a desktop tool like many of our competitors are. Is having a banner day. Let's see that.
And so it sends an email with an image of this?
It sends an email with a link to this.
To that, right.
Exactly. And really the power...
Because things could change. You want to be able to pull up a live version of that, right?
Exactly. And the power is that, there's this big push for data science these days. Companies are struggling with the volume of their data, and they're turning to data scientists. Well, we all know that it's very hard to find people with those skills. What Metamarkets wants to do is give you data science as a service and put the kind of power that you get by analyzing large-scale data in the hands of a business user.
Well, we're just about out of time, but what customers do you have that are using this? Can you talk about some of them?
Sure. The most public customer to date is the Financial Times. Their head of global monetization uses this tool to effectively justify price increases for their advertising.
Okay, well, Michael Driscoll, CEO, founder of Metamarkets, thanks for joining us here on Valley View.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck at the Under the Radar conference.
I put you on the spot.